How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2024 sci-fi drama film, and that is Uglies. This film tells a story where, in a futuristic dystopia with enforced beauty standards, we follow a teen named Tali, played by Joey King, whom is awaiting for mandatory cosmetic surgery. She embarks on a journey to find her missing friend. So that's pretty much the story of Uglies. Now, this movie is based off the book, which I did not know about, and so I went to this movie knowing nothing about the book itself. And this movie is also coming from director McG, in which, in terms of his films that he's made, they either are hit or miss. And there are a few I tend them to find either underrated or, pretty forgettable as well. And they're the ones that I just tend to find myself not ever revisiting again when it comes to some of his films that I do find pretty forgettable. And this film came out on Netflix on the 13th of September, which I didn't check this movie out straight away when it came out on Netflix. And so I just recently checked this movie out last night on Netflix, just a week after it was released on Netflix. And after watching this whole movie here, this is definitely another McG film here that I just don't find myself ever revisiting again here, because I found this whole film here just to be pretty much forgettable here. And while this movie does tend to have some unique ideas here and there, and it even does try its best to achieve its overall main message here, it's just the overall execution here for this movie I just felt was just really weak, and yet it also comes off as lazy, and yet just less convincing, because the movie has rarely enough time to explore one of these characters within this movie, and we rarely get to see much time of much of these characters that are in this movie. And it's mostly due to its pacing, because the whole pacing for the film just felt so rapid, and yet from all of that, it was really hard for me to catch my breath when it came to that within this movie. And for how the movie does represent of like how the characters go from ugly to pretty, from the way it's been showcased within this movie, I just felt it was just less cohesive, from its storytelling. And it does tend to have some of the same formula that we've seen before in the past within these movies. And even for some of the lines of dialogue that were in this movie, they just felt really atrocious for some of the line deliveries that were played off in the movie. And the way they were played off within this movie just felt really strange for some of the interactions that we see with these characters in this movie here. And while this film has a talented cast, like you've got Joey King as the main lead, and she's been pretty capable in recent years with her acting talent for some of the recent things she's been doing in recent years. But here in this film, she does try her hardest, but she just felt really less capable here, and yet her character just felt really one-dimensional here. And pretty much all the other characters in the film just felt really one-dimensional, and the actors themselves do try their best, but I just didn't find myself really invested with any of these characters, and some of them do have some bait and switch to them, which I just found that pretty just generic here. And even its visuals as well, from all of that, it was just really awkward for some of the amounts of like green screen and CGI that was showcased in this movie. And pretty much all of them were just pretty bad here. But all in all, Uglies, it's definitely another like sci-fi Netflix film I wouldn't find myself ever revisiting again here. And it's definitely a lazy adaptation here that I've seen for a book adaptation in recent years. But if you're a fan of like the book, or you're a fan of like actress Joey King or director McG, you might find yourself enjoying this one here. But in all honesty, I just don't even really recommend this film in the slightest. So that's pretty much all to say about Uglies. I'm going to give Uglies 1 out of 5. As I said, this movie does try its best to achieve some unique ideas as well as overall main message here, but for everything else that were in this movie, I just found this whole film to be pretty much just lazy here. So thank you guys so much for watching for my ACAF Story review on Uglies, and let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already or just recently checked this out. Did you really enjoy this one, or was this not your cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.